Let's bring on the man himself, looking dapper as ever again, Mr. Dan Locke.
Thank you. Is my mic on? Okay, good. How was day one of Socialite? Yeah. Who's your favorite speaker? Ass kissing always works. It does work. Let me ask you a question. Now, yesterday in the morning, I shared the 7 lessons that I've learned building my $10 million empire. It's actually more than 10 million, but doesn't matter. So today, actually, who could summarize the 7 lessons for me? Who could do that? Who could do that? Yes. Loud and clear. See if you can do that. No. The 7 lessons. Who could summarize the 7 lessons? Each one of them. Each one of them. No. What's the first one? Good. Second one? No. Who could do, like, in order? Yes.
Love what you do.
Yeah.
The second one.
Yeah.
The third one was visibility is more important than ability.
That's the fourth one. Yeah, it's number 3. It's business world. Good. Save yourself before save the world. Good. Yeah. Good.
Stop pretending and start asking.
Yes.
Master, don't dabble.
Yes.
And don't have to get it right.
Okay. Afterwards, a round of applause. You get a book from me. Okay. So talk to me afterward. I'll mail you one. So today, what I want to do is maybe a little bit interactive, because after these type of conferences, how many have been to other conferences before? That is not the first conference you go to. And what happens is entrepreneurs, business owners, they attend different conferences, and then they get all excited, all motivated, all psyched up and hyped up, and then they go home and then what? Yes, and do nothing. You know, all the self-help becomes shelf-help. So my goal for you is to make sure you actually take some action. Get some ideas and some strategies that you can do. So let's see how much time we have. I'll go through a couple of things, and then maybe if we have time, we do a little bit of Q&A. Does that sound good? Yep. Yeah. People who are not here, they're missing out. That's right. They're missing out. Because the second day is all about implementation. It's about what? Implementation. So what I would do, so yesterday I shared with you 7 lessons, right? Today I'm going to give you 3 more. 3 more. 3 more. So lesson number 1, before I get into the lesson, is this. That yesterday I talked about attention, yes? So attention is the new currency. That money follows attention. So, and afterwards, a lot of people come up to me and they ask me different questions about their business. The first lesson I want to share with you is this. In any business you want to get, how many of you actually don't have a business now, but you kind of have an idea? That you think, wow, okay, good. So how do you know? Like people ask me, Dan, is my idea good? Is it viable? Should I do this and that? I always say with me, any industry, any business I want to get into, my first question is, first of all, is there a demand? Not just because this is my fucking idea. Is there a demand? Are people actually spending money buying this thing? People come up to me and pitch me all the time with the idea, the investments. Oh, you know, Dan, nobody's ever done this before. Let me share my idea with you. And I run. Nobody's ever done this before. I don't want it. Oh, Dan, my tech, this is going to be, I'm going to be the new next Facebook. I run. No, I don't want that. I look into an industry where there's already existing demand. I don't want to create demand. Now, this is just my personal preference. I mean, there are people who made a lot of money being a pioneer. Pioneers, you know, usually they have arrows on their back. Most of the money that I've lost in my business career because I was a pioneer, trying to do something new. Nobody's ever done this before. Let me prove to you what I could do, right? Sure, I proved how stupid I was. So I don't like to do that. So any industry I look into, I ask, is there demand? Second question is, can I be the number 1 or number 2 in that category? Can I be the number 1 or number 2? If there's already number 1 and number 2, well, can I aim to be that? Do they have any weaknesses or certain things they're not doing so well? Or can I create a category within that I could be number 1 and 2? So let me give an example. How many of you have heard of a little drink called Coca-Cola? Okay. How many have heard of Pepsi? Have you seen those Pepsi, what is it? Those are blind, what is it, tasting tests? Yes, how they do it, and they blindfold you and you drink, and 7 out of 10 say Pepsi tastes what? Yeah. But how come Coca-Cola always kicks their ass? Pepsi can never, ever, ever beat Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola is first. In any marketplace, better to be first or different, but better to be first. You have that first to the market advantage. So, lesson number 1 is you want to dominate, not compete. Dominate, don't compete. How many have heard of the idea that, competition is a good idea? Okay, it's a fucking lie. For who? For who? You think Apple competes or you think they dominate? They dominate. In any category, any industry leader, they go in, they are not competing. They are crushing the competition. They don't want to win by this much, they want to win by this much. By this much. So any industry I get into, you want to dominate, don't compete. If I look at an industry, look at a business, okay, if I cannot be number 1, can I at least be number 2? If I'm number 3 and 4, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. One of the greatest business books I believe that it's ever written, and most people don't think about it, is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. How many of you read it? Yeah, The Art of War. A few years ago, I actually wrote a book called The Art of War for the New Millennium. With The Art of War, one of my favorite quotes is, "A battle is won before it's ever fought." Most businesses, the truth is, if you actually have done your research, most of them you will know if you're going to succeed or fail before you even put in a dime. Most entrepreneurs, they always an idea. So idea ain't worth shit. Idea is not worth anything. It's execution, it's research. Everybody can come with an idea. But one elegant idea is better than 1,000 semi-good ideas. One elegant idea. So idea is not worth a lot. It's execution, it's implementation. I'm not the most creative guy. I have never had no original ideas in my life. Don't like them, don't want them. Because when I go to the bank, when I deposit money, the teller's not going to ask me, Dan, did you make this money with your original ideas? No, she never asked me that. So I am not an original thinker. I'm not interested in that. I'm a synthesizer. What I like to do is I like to take some best practices from different industries and I connect them together. So let's say traditionally I'm in this industry and everybody does same things a certain way, right? Most of the time. And I like to borrow some best practices from other industries. Oh, nobody's ever done it this way. Well, let me do this. And then people think, oh, that's a breakthrough. That's so brilliant. What's so brilliant about it? It's not brilliant. It's been doing this for 20 years, but just from a different industry. So one of the things I would suggest, read publications, magazines, blogs outside of your industry. That's how you get out of the box idea. In my podcast, one time I was interviewing the founder of Priceline.com. How many heard of Priceline.com? Yeah. So Jeff Hoffman. When I was talking with Jeff, and through the podcast, and Jeff was telling me that how he came up with the Priceline.com idea was, one time he was reading a magazine, some kind of article about fruit, and how there's a company, basically they sell fruit, but they do it in a way that, let's say, you have a banana, and it's fresh, and they sell for X amount of dollars, but as time, it goes bad, right? So every day it goes by, this company, they would lower the amount of the amount of money they sell, the price for these types of fruit. So Jeff read the article, and that's how he got the idea. Well, how come we can't do the same with hotel? What if hotel, there are a lot of vacancy, and it's just sitting there. It costs money for the cleaner to be there. It costs money for the air conditioning. What if we can work a deal with hotel, and all these space that they don't sell, then maybe we could sell on our website. That's how he came up with Priceline.com. And you think, oh, such an original idea. You listen to the interview, it's not that original. But that's how you get breakthrough ideas. So that's lesson number 1. Dominate, don't compete. Second is verify, don't assume. Verify, don't assume. The number one key to business success is to avoid bad assumptions. It's the number one key to business success. Avoid bad assumptions. Most businesses fail because the entrepreneur assumes it's a good idea. They assume everybody would want this. They assume their marketing would work. Because entrepreneurs, we're naturally optimistic, yes? Yeah. Yes, we look at the good side of things, yes? That how it's going to work. I'm saying, and I was very, very optimistic, and that's how I lost most of my money. Okay? So now I'm more a realist. I'm more like a professor of harsh reality through that experience. So now I am optimistic, but at the same time, I verify. I go through, I ask myself the questions, what could go wrong? That's a very good question to ask for yourself. What could go wrong? Not what happens if everything goes right. No, what could go wrong? Another very good question I have on my desk. So I have what could go wrong and what don't I see? What don't I see? What don't I see? Oh yeah, when I launch this, my business, I don't have any business experience. I've got this great idea. I'm sure when I launch it in 30 days, I'm going to make $100,000. That's an assumption. How do you know? Well, and what if it doesn't? What if not only it doesn't make $100,000, you didn't make any money the first month? What if you didn't make any money the second month? What if actually you don't make any money the first year? What if you don't make any money the second year? It's way better. Think about it.